Hey my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and spring is most definitely in the air now. I absolutely love spring. You've got all the flowers blooming, so the beautiful colours, the beautiful smells. It's just a lovely happy month. And so I have done a design for you featuring two of my absolute favourite things about spring: butterflies and daisies. I love daisies. They remind me of being a child and making daisy chains. So if you'd like to see what I used and how I created this set, then please keep watching. On Miss Lottie for this design, and I have applied my gem stiletto tips and just nipped the end off to make them more of a coffin shape. Now the feature of this design are these beautiful butterfly and daisy decals from the Queen of Decals. As soon as I saw them, I knew I needed these in my life. The colours, I have got Phoebe, I have also got Neve, and the last colour I am using in this set is Ava. These were all from the Gems Cozy collection. And then for a touch of sparkle, I've got Ophelia. And then just to finish it off, I have got the spring butterflies in Blue Love. I love this whole collection of butterfly glitters, but Blue Love I think is my favourite. And then finally, we have got Crystal Clear. So first thing I'm going to do, and I've done, is cut out my decals and laid them on a wet sponge, pop them to one side. We'll forget about them until we need them. As always, I'm going in with Crystal Clear and doing my nice thin clear base on all of these nails. I'm not going to say the usual spiel here. I'm just going to get on and do it. Keeping it nice and thin. It doesn't need to be super duper thick. It's really just a wash of clear acrylic on all of these nails, and then once I have finished applying this to all of the nails, we can get into the fun stuff and the actual design. So starting off on the index finger, I'm going to use the three colours, so Phoebe, Ava and Neve, and I'm doing a little bit of a marble with these colours. So I want to be really careful not to mix them together, so just swoosh my brush through a couple of times. And I'm doing this just on half the nail from the cuticle down and on a jaunty angle. Haven't done one of them for ages. So just going in with a couple of colours and then just the very tip of my brush, moving it around, just tidying up around the cuticle and the side walls. Don't need to do too much work here. It is a very, very soft marble, so it's very difficult to see. But once I was happy with it, just going to leave it, forget about it. On the middle finger, and I believe I do the same on the ring finger, I'm going to do a 3-colour ombre. So I'm starting with Phoebe at the very tip, and I'm just blending that back sort of a third of the way up the nail. I want to make sure I really blend that out, and then just going to do exactly the same, I think, on the ring finger. Yeah, I am. So just placing that bead at the tip and then blending it back, probably a bit further than I wanted to on here, but never mind. I will probably go back into this colour and work on the blend as I add the next colour, but I'm going to leave that to set now, and I'm going to repeat what I did on the index finger and just do sort of half the nail marble on a jaunty angle. Just because I love a jaunty angle, just so that I can say a jaunty angle, and I've not said it very much in recent videos. So just going in between those three colours, picking up teeny tiny little beads but keeping them very wet, and then just taking the tip of my brush, swirling it through and then leaving it. And I'm just blending it out at the edge so that I don't have a harsh lumpy line. Back to my ombres, and I'm now going in with Ava. So I've started this sort of roughly where the natural free edge is, natural in inverted commas, and then just blending it down over that first colour ever so slightly, and then blending it back so that I can then work the final colour of my three-way ombre. Now, if I felt I'd covered up that first colour too much, or I didn't like the blend, I'm just going to go back into Phoebe, a little bit more colour, and then just work on that blend. Small beads, wet beads, painting it on, and that way you can really focus and work on that blend without building up any bulk or too much bulk. And then, guess what? Exactly the same on the ring finger. The other thing I ought to point out here is I'm adding glitter and things to these nails as well, so the blend does not have to be absolutely spot on perfect, but hello, this is me. So just faffing around with that, going back into Phoebe if I didn't like that blend, and then when I am happy, we're going to move on. So the final colour in my three-way ombre is that beautiful peachy Neve. So I've applied that just short of the cuticle so I can focus on the blend first. And then here you can see I'm just patting it, tapping it back, and then I will go in with a much smaller bead so that I can tidy up that cuticle. There you can see. So this is really focusing on the cuticle line, and then I'm just going to feather it out and blend it down, and then again if I needed to can go back in with a touch more Ava, but I obviously didn't feel I needed to, and then exactly the same on the ring finger. So just going in with Neve towards the cuticle, first of all focusing on blending it down over Ava, just getting a nice soft blend between colours, and then I will do a second smaller bead and tidy up that cuticle line. Because I'm painting this on and keeping it really thick, I can just go back into Ava if I feel that there's too much Neve or that blend isn't right. But I want roughly equal sections of each colour, so a third of the nail in each of those three colours. And these are really, really soft blends and soft marbles, but I love the finished look. So even though it's hard to see at this point, I loved how it turned out. On that clear tip on my jaunty angle on the index finger, I'm going in with this beautiful Ophelia glitter. It goes perfectly with all three of these colours in my opinion, and it just adds a little touch of sparkle, and then exactly the same on the ring finger. I don't want to cover up too much of that marble, so I'm just overlapping it slightly, just sort of feathering that glitter up, so it's not a straight line, it's just a bit blended. And then I'm just going to leave that to dry, and I'm going to do a little bit of a swoosh of Ophelia on the middle finger. So as I said, I'm covering up quite a lot of the blend, but this is such a soft, subtle glitter, you still see a lot of it through. It just adds a little bit of extra. And it is really pretty. It's a really, really pretty soft glitter for spring, really wearable. I think it's beautiful. Again, it's a difficult one to see on camera at this point, but when I get to the pictures at the end, hopefully you will see how it's all come together. Back onto the index finger, and I'm going to apply my decals. So first of all, wash of clear acrylic where I want to place the decal. Doesn't need to be much, it's just there to adhere the decal to the nail. Take that decal that's been soaking off the wet sponge, slide the backing paper off, and then I'm going to place it where I want and gently pat it down. I don't want to tear or smush the decal, just want to make sure it is all stuck down, and then I'm going to leave the acrylic to set and repeat the process on the pinky. I've forgotten the names of my fingers. So wash a clear acrylic, slide the decal off, place it, and then just tap, tap, tap. You might want to wear gloves doing this because obviously that is wet acrylic, but you know, I'm a rebel, me. While that acrylic sets, I'm moving back to the the middle finger, and I'm just going to add some of those beautiful butterflies just over top of that Ophelia swoosh. So once I'm happy with the placement of all of these butterflies, I will now need to encapsulate all of these nails in clear acrylic, making sure I've got all my structure and all those decals and glitters are fully encapsulated. I'm going to file them to shape, and ta-da! Here they are, all capped and filed, ready to finish off. So give them a good dust over, get rid of any dust left on the nail, around the cuticle, on the skin. If you're working on a client, you could get them to wash your hands, but she ain't got no legs. But after I've given them a dust with my dust brush, I'm going to go in with my wax wipe and some cleanser or sanitizer or whatever-izer, and give it a really good wipe over, clean it right around the cuticle, getting rid of any dust, anything left on the nail. Now I've got some little sort of crystal AB gemstones here, and I've also got this beautiful wheel of AB crystal shapes butterflies. This was all from Sheen, and I'm just going to add a little bit of a butterfly swooshy swirly thing on the ring finger. So I'm going to apply the butterfly up near the cuticle. I have just attached this with glue. If I was working on myself or another person, I would probably use a gel glue or clear acrylic, but on Lottie the glue is fine. And then once I'm happy with how that is placed, I am going to go in with those gemstones and do a little bit of a swoosh coming from sort of the back of the butterfly, so it's almost like a tail coming out. So I'm just starting from the largest and sort of moving down in size as I go. I've just gone in with little blobs of glue, just add a few more, and then just right down to the very cuticle in my swooshy line. And then once I'm happy with how all of those are placed, we have just one thing left to do with this design, but it is the most important thing to do, because we got to get old Tina in on the action. Yeah, Tina top, my favourite part. We are going to bring this design back to life. You're going to start to see that sparkle with the Ophelia glitter. We're also hopefully, well, you are, well, we are going to see those different colours. It's still such a soft design, but the top coat really did bring it back to life. Yeah, you could do this in a matte finish if you wanted, but definitely glossy is the way to go for me. On that ring finger where I've done the butterfly and the trail, I want to get right up and against all of those stones or gemstones and that butterfly with my top coat, but I don't want to cover them. So applied a bit of top coat on the big areas of the nail that are left, and now I'm going to go in with my detailer brush to get right up into any little nooks and crannies. Make sure every part of the nail that I can see that hasn't got anything on it is top coated, and get right up against those gemstones just to hold them in place. I am then going to top coat the final pinky nail and then pop Miss Lots in for a 60-second cure, and then this is done. Obviously on actual nails on an actual person, don't forget to finish off with we've done top coat, finish off with cuticle oil, but for Miss Lottie this design is complete. So I absolutely love how this set turned out. It is soft, it is subtle, it's not something you see very often from me, but I really did like the finished design. I thought it was a perfect step into spring set. But that is it. That is the end of this video. So as always, I will pop all the product details in the description box, but I use products from the nail team and of course Jen's Nail Systems. Please give this video a thumbs up and I would love it if you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will see you again very soon. Bye! Mwah.